My name is Lijun Summerhayes. I'm a scholar and a practitioner with strong research interests focusing on urban and regional planning, food system governance, and sustainability policy. I'm lucky enough that I received a top-up scholarship from Future Food System CRC, thanks to the ongoing support and interest from Future Food System CRC on my research topic. And I feel like I can develop my research and share my research with more people that can benefit more industry, government, also policy change. I'm a strong advocate for innovative land use planning and policy reform, hoping to address the policy incoherence and governance fragmentation across the sectors of food, health, environment, and urban planning systems. I believe it is critical to change this policy fragmentation and governance problems. I think it is important to, as part of my research, that with a small contribution can help to transform how our cities and regions plan for more sustainable urban and food futures. From the research findings, we found that there's a couple of reasons creating barriers for governance fragmentation and why there's such an inertia for policy change or innovations. The three of them, the first one is historical, the second one is internal barriers, and the third one is the external barriers. So when we're talking about the historical barriers, we really focus on that, have the traditional, that siloed policy-making approach, and also sectorial governance approach to focus on each sector of food-related policy rather than working together. In fact, this entrenched way of policy-making and governance has made it rather difficult for food-related policies to work together or collaborate together. So this is a historical reason. The second one is internal barriers. So why we say that? Because we found that some policymakers or practitioners are being interviewed, they have the desire to change, to make our built environment better, to make the food system much more sustainable or healthier, but have the bound responsibility, which means they can only do what they can, what they are allowed within their job description. And that creates the internal barriers, and that's one example. And when we talk about the external barriers, that's even harder because, for example, when policymakers or planning professionals trying to balance are we going to create more housing in certain built environment areas, or can we create a space, for example, urban agriculture as a way to promote food production or bring people together, encourage social cohesion in that built environment. But they often face challenges such as stakeholder conflict, the land scarcity, and all these factors make them really hard, challenging to make a decision that how do we balance the food system creation or generating a more sustainable food system in terms of a housing crisis. So there's a lot of three factors, historical, internal, and external factors all combined together that often constraint. So yeah, all the three factors all together to create huge challenges. As a scholar and practitioner, it's really critical to collaborate with different stakeholders, including industry, government across different levels, and as well as different sectors, and as well as scholars. I'm trying to be actively engaging or collaborating with all three levels, even the public. On the one hand, as a scholar, it's important to work with other scholars from different disciplines, different fields, different expertise, from different contexts or backgrounds to generate new insights and advanced knowledge. This is really important, especially in terms of food systems, because we all know it is not a single approach. It requires a holistic approach to encourage a better food systems. On the other hand, serving as a state lead for Australian Food Innovation Network, AFIN, and working with key collaborators such as Future Food Systems CRC and CSIRO, along with other industry partners or government agencies. It helped verify or improve my research application and relevance. It also guides my future research directions as well. On the note of Future Food Systems CRC, I'd like to mention that the significant work that Future Food Systems has been doing since its inception. They've been leading to drive that food system and policy innovations through this triple helix framework. Why it's so important? Because it brings stakeholders from different fields, as mentioned, scholars, researchers from different universities, government from all fields, levels, as well as industry people together to drive that new knowledge, to collaborate, to really address the stagnation of the institutional innovations. Future Food System has been bringing all these difficulties together, different stakeholders together to innovate, or at least facilitating the new changes which is really needed if we want to transform the future, the food system as well as the urban environment in Australia.